Good evening. Today we have the lesson flower. It has number of technical terms. It's very difficult to remember. So you have to write the technical term once or twice and you have to remember the words. Because it's very important for next year where you have to study the taxonomy chapter. Now the flower, let us see the flower. So flower is a modified shoot to carry reproductive function. It is a modified shoot. As I already in a shoot, you will find this is the stem. On the stem you have the leaves. You studied already the leaves. These are the leaves. See, the condensed of the stem takes place and the leaves are also condensed and come together in a short form, that is a flower. So in between you can find the petiole, also find some in flowers. The floral parts are modified leaves. The floral parts, there you can find the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, etc. They are modified leaves. It arises from a small leaf-like structure, that is a bract. So a flower develops from the axis of a bract. Stalk of the flower is called pedicel, which may be absent. That condition is called sessile condition. If a flower is having pedicel, that is called pedicellate condition. Absent sessile condition. Next, if a flower is having a bracteoles, bracteole is a small leaf-like structure occur on the pedicel. On the pedicel, anywhere in the pedicel, exactly not middle, it may be in any way on the pedicel, that is called bracteole. If you happen to see, this is the flower, this is bract, and on the pedicel, any leaf-like structure, that is called the bracteole. So the terminal part of the petiole is swollen and becomes spherical shaped or conical, and this is called the thalamus. So in a flower, this is the pedicel. At the end of the pedicel become convex shape where the floral parts are developed. This is called thalamus or receptacle or torus at the end of the pedicel. So here you can see the flower, a typical flower. You can see a diagram. So the flower, this is a pedicel, and at the tip of the pedicel we have a receptacle and it have floral parts. The floral parts may be outer sepal and the green one, then this colored petal, and this is the stamen. Each stamen is having a filament and anther lobe, and at the center you can find gynoecium. Gynoecium having a broad lower portion, that is called the ovary. Above this you can find a stalk-like structure, that is called the style, and at the tip is known as the stigma, the total gynoecium or the pistil. So calyx is the first whorl and the corolla second whorl, androecium third whorl and gynoecium fourth whorl. All the floral whorls are formed as a flower. The four whorls of floral parts arranged very closely with a compressed internodes. The internodes may be compressed. As I told you already, it is a modified shoot. This is a leaf, this is a leaf, this is a leaf. They are compressed to form a leaf. And sometimes what happens, these internodes may be elongated in some flowers. The internode between this leaf, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, the internodes may be extended or may be given or elongated in some flowers. Here the different types of elongations are given here. You can see the elongation of internodes between the whorls. The first one is called the anthophore. The anthophore is an elongation between calyx and corolla. Those diagrams I will show later. An elongation between calyx and corolla. Example, you can find silane. Androphore, that is the between corolla and androecium. That is a stalk of androecium, androphore. Okay, and then example here, passiflora. Then gynophore, stalk of the gynoecium, that is an internode between androecium and gynoecium. Example, capparis. The fourth one is gynandrophore or androgynophore. Both are same. So between corolla and androecium and gynoecium. So two internodes you can find cleome, gynandra. The fifth one is a special type. Even this thalamus elongates up to the corpels of the ovary. that is thalamus elongation beyond the carpels of the ovary. Example, coriander. These things we will see the 5 types. See the first one, androphore. This is anthophore. This is the calyx, and this one is the corolla. This one is the corolla. In between you find an internode that is called anthophore. And the second one you can have this one, androphore gynoecium. Here you can find this is the stalk of the anther, and here anthers came. This is androphore. But here gynophore, gynoecium. So a stalk of the gynoecium, that is called gynophore. Here you can see here androphore, here gynophore. Both are same. This is called gynandrophore. Gynandrophore you can find caparis, gynandrophore. And the fifth one, carpophore. This is the peduncle. It encloses and it enter into even the carpels. This is called carpophore. You can find in coriander. So now let us see the position of the flower. So based on the flower, it may develop at the terminal, that is called terminal bud. Terminal bud may be modified into a flower, a terminal, or in the main stem, or at the lateral branches, that is called terminal position. If a flower develops from the axis of the leaf, here if you find a leaf, if you find a flower from the axis, this is called axillary flower. That's all. And a flower having pedicel, a pedicellate flower, no pedicel, sessile flower. Next, floral parts. Regarding the floral parts, I told you already the floral parts, calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. And but among these, some are very essential, some are not essential. So regarding the non-essential organs, that is calyx and corolla. Calyx and corolla non-essential, and they may be differentiated or not differentiated. When calyx and corolla are not differentiated, that is called perianth. Not differentiated, perianth, and individual segments are known as tepals. When it is differentiated by color and size, etc., there one whorl calyx, first whorl calyx, and inner whorl corolla. Regarding the essential organs, the androecium and gynoecium, this is androecium is the third whorl of the floral part, and whereas the gynoecium is the fourth whorl of the floral parts. The androecium is the male part of the flower. Gynoecium is the female part of the flower. So here again I will give you the parts of plant. Here you can find this is a pedicel, and from which you can find the outside the calyx, inner corolla, androecium, and central gynoecium you have. So this is a typical flower having the 4 whorls of floral parts. The position of the gynoecium on the thalamus. So this is very important. You have to remember the position of gynoecium on the thalamus, or this is based on the insertion of the floral parts on the thalamus. The floral parts and also the gynoecium, the flowers are differentiated into 3 types. Hypogynous. Hypogynous. See, in this you can find hypo means below gynoecium. The floral parts are below the gynoecium. Floral parts arranged below the gynoecium. It is the gynoecium is the topmost position, so the ovary is called the superior. Thalamus is convex or elongated, ovary in top position, other 3 whorls of floral parts develop below it. Example, hibiscus. So remember, hypogynous, the ovary is in topmost position. The second one, epigynous. See, epi means above, gynous means gynoecium. The floral parts found above the gynoecium. So thalamus is cup shaped, lower part of the ovary at the bottom of the cup and fused with the inner wall of the thalamus. Other 3 whorls develop above the ovary. So the ovary is inferior. The ovary is found below the floral parts. Example, cucurbita. The third one is a perigynous condition in between. Thalamus is a flat or cup-shaped structure. The ovary is found in the center and the remaining floral parts are found at the margins of the cup. So we can call the gynoecium as of inferior or it is of superior. Both are correct. Example, rose. So now you see the diagram of different types. The first one, hypogynous, there you can find the gynoecium is the topmost position and remaining floral parts found below the gynoecium. But in the second one, excuse me, in the second one what happened, the thalamus is closed with the gynoecium and etc. and the gynoecium is found below and the floral parts are found above the gynoecium. This is one type, this is another type, both are perigynous type. This is just like a cup, but almost equal size. Almost equal size you can find. But here what happened, the gynoecium is completely inside and floral parts are above the gynoecium. This is epigynous condition where the position of the gynoecium is inferior. Next, description of the flower. As I told you already, it has more technical terms in the flower from beginning to the ending. You have to remember and you have to write once or twice and you have to note down the spelling also. Here you can find bracteate, bract is present, ebracteate, bract is absent. Bracteolate, as I told you already, a small leaf-like structure found on the pedicel, that is bracteole. If bracteole is present, it is bracteolate, and if absent, ebracteolate. And in a flower, a floral diagram, after that I will tell you later, the arrangement of the floral parts in a bud condition, you have to draw a diagrammatic representation of floral diagram where you can find this is the axis of the flower, that is called the posterior side, and in the lower side you can find the bract, this is called the anterior side. This is the axis or mother axis and this is called the bract. Bract side is called anterior side. Anterior side, side of the flower facing the bract, and posterior side, side of the flower facing the axis. And a complete flower, when all the four floral parts are present, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, the flower is called complete. If any one or more floral parts are absent, that is called incomplete flower. Another technical term is unisexual flower. See, having either androecium or gynoecium, not both. If a flower is having either androecium or gynoecium, such flowers are called unisexual flowers. Example, ricinus. Next, a male flower. Just a flower having androecium only, that is a male flower, that you can find coconut plant. Male and female flowers both are present in the same plant, that I will tell you later. Here also our male flowers, example coconut. Next, female flower having gynoecium only, example coconut plant. And neutral flowers having neither androecium nor gynoecium, nothing is inside, those are called the neutral flowers, example in ficus. Next, bisexual flower. In the same flower you can find both androecium and gynoecium, that is a bisexual flower. Majority of bisexual flowers, example hibiscus. Regarding the sex distribution, then is the monoecious condition, that is flowers are unisexual, male and female flowers develop on the same plant, as I told you, example coconut. The second one, dioecious. The flowers are unisexual and male and female flowers are produced on separate plants. Male plant and female plant are separate. Example, borassus and carica papaya. The third one is the polygamous condition. There you can find unisexual, male flowers, female flowers and bisexual flowers are all found in the same plant. That is called polygamous condition. Example, mango and polygonum. Next, let us see the symmetry of the flower. So you have to follow very slowly from his, because all are technical terms and each is having a meaning of its own. Regarding the symmetry, you can discuss the arrangement and then number. I will tell you later. The first one is symmetry in the arrangement of the flowers. So first one is the acyclic or spiral arrangement. See here, these are the primitive plants where the floral parts are arranged spirally in the thalamus. In a developed plants where you can find all are whorls. First whorl sepal, second whorl petal, third whorl androecium, fourth whorl gynoecium, like that arranged. But in primitive plants what happened? They are arranged in a spiral way. Androecium, gynoecium, sepals, petals, all are arranged in spiral manner. See, look here. The petal, this here you can find perianth, here you can find, and sepals, petals, and androecium and gynoecium all are arranged in spiral manner. Then next we have the spirocyclic or hemicyclic. That is, hemi means half. Here calyx, corolla are arranged in whorls. Stamens and carpels are arranged spirally. Example, Annona and Polyalthia. This is spirocyclic or hemicyclic. Of course, the diagram may be not clear, but you can see here these are the perianth, sepals and petals, etc. arranged in a spiral. This you can arrange it in whorls, whereas androecium, gynoecium are arranged in spiral manner. The next one, cyclic. This is most common in advanced plants. The floral parts are arranged in whorls or circles. Example, hibiscus and crotalaria. See, here you can have the first this whorl, sepals, and next petals and androecium and gynoecium, and 4 whorls you can find. This is a cyclic arrangement. Next, the next symmetry in number. So in which the first one is isomerous. Each whorl having the same number or multiples of the same number of floral parts, that is called isomerous. So if the sepals are 5, petals are 5, androecium 100, gynoecium 5, that is called in each whorl same number or multiples of same. In this we have 3 more types. The trimerous flowers. In monocots you can find there 3 or multiples of 3 floral parts found in each whorl. Example, allium. The second one, tetramerous. 4 or multiples of 4 floral parts found in each whorl. That is a tetramerous condition. In dicots you can find example, ixora. And the third one, pentamerous. 5 or multiples of 5 floral parts found in each whorl. This majority of the dicots having this pentamerous condition. Example, hibiscus. The next one is symmetry, anisomerous or heteromerous. Different whorls may have different number of floral parts. For example, in ocimum, sepals 5, petals 5, stamens 4, carpels 2, like that. So different number, that is called anisomery or heteromerous condition. So you see here, there you can find 5 sepals are there and 5 petals and 2 stamens, and here the gynoecium. So this is anisomerous condition. The next, symmetry in form, arrangement of floral parts. Based on the flower, there are 3 types. One is called actinomorphic condition. When you take a flower, cut into equal halves in any direction. 2 equal halves in any direction. If cut in a way, if this is the flower, if you cut this way, you should get 2 parts. If you cut like this, you shed 2 parts. Like this only, you should get 2 equal parts. That is called actinomorphic condition. Example, hibiscus. The second one, here you see in this flower, if you cut in any direction, if you cut this way, you will get 2 parts. This way, you get 2 parts. Anyway, you can get 2 equal halves. The second one is called the zygomorphic condition. You can cut 2 equal halves only in a particular direction only. You can get 2 halves, but not in all directions. It is called zygomorphic. Example, crotalaria. And crotalaria, clitoria. You see here, a floral diagram is given here. See, if you cut like this, this is a special type of corolla that will go to one side. So, if you cut like this only, you will get 2 equal halves. So, this is called zygomorphic condition. The next one is asymmetric condition. See, first you actinomorphic you have seen, so that should be cut in any direction, and second one zygomorphic, there you can get 2 equal halves if you cut the flower in a particular direction. The third one, asymmetric condition, you cannot get 2 equal halves if you cut the flower in any direction. Example, canna. So here the speciality, some petals, some sepals are modified into different ways. so that you cannot get any way. But suppose if you get what happened, the important part will go to another side, and if you cut like this, another special part will go to another side, so that we cannot get two equal halves. So next side heading, perianth. I told you already, perianth is nothing but the calyx and corolla. When they are not differentiated, into calyx and corolla, they are called the perianth. Aclamadius. A means no. No clamadius means no perianth. Perianth is completely absent. Petals and sepals absent. Example, euphorbia. The second one, clamadius. Clamadius means having perianth. So in this we have two types. Monoclamadius, that is having only one whorl of perianth. One whorl of perianth. Example, croton and ricinus. The second one, diclamadius. Diclamadius or diploclamadius, both are correct, where the perianth in two whorls. Again it is of two types. One is homoclamadius, when the two whorls are of same size and colors, etc., that is called homoclamadius. The two whorls are similar, not differentiated into sepals and petals, that is called homoclamadius. So we have to call diclamadius homoclamadius. Example, allium and yucca. The second one is heteroclamadius. Perianth is differentiated, the outer calyx, inner corolla, that is called diclamadius heteroclamadius. Example, hibiscus and datura. So now you see the diagrams. In the first diagram, allium, you cannot differentiate the calyx and corolla. All are same color, same size. Whereas here you can differentiate this one, the green color, the smaller one, the calyx, and red, this is corolla. Next, another very important topic, that is estuation. This is important for the second year taxonomy. Estuation is nothing but the arrangement of perianth in bud condition. Arrangement of sepals and petals in bud condition is called estuation. In this, the first one is the valvate. Valve means doors, valve. So here the perianth just meet by their edges without overlapping. Example, calyx of hibiscus. The second one is twisted. The perianth lobes overlap in a regular way. That is, one perianth is outside, one perianth lobe, one side outside, another side inside, in a regular way, just like a twisting. This is called a twisted estuation. You can find in corolla of hibiscus. You can see the diagrams. See, in the first one, these perianth lobes are just meet but not overlap one by one. So this is the overall arrangement. This you can find the valvate estuation. The second one, twisted, the petals of hibiscus. You see, in a particular petal, if you happen to see one side inside, outside, another side outside, that is in regular way. This is a twisted estuation. Next we will see the imbricate estuation. Imbricate means most complicated. Imbricate is of three types. The first one is the descendingly imbricate estuation. In this type, what happens? There is a posterior, as I told you, the upper side is called the posterior. There is a posterior very big petal, and it encloses two lateral petals, and these two enclose the basal or anterior two petals. So it is just coming down. So called this descendingly imbricate estuation. This type you can find in Fabaceae family. The corolla of Fabaceae, in all members of bean, clitoris, etc., clitoria, you can find descendingly imbricate estuation. You can see the photograph. So here you see the posterior very big petal, standard petal. Below you can find the wing petals, and below you can have the keel petals. Descendingly imbricate estuation. The flower is also arranged like this. I will show the flower also later. Next, ascendingly imbricate estuation. As I told you, this descending is coming down. This is just going up. Ascendingly imbricate estuation. In this type, the posterior hot petal is innermost being overlapped by one margin. I will show now. So here, look here, the lowermost one, this lowermost one, this both the sides outside, and this overlap the upper one. The upper one overlap the posterior one. In this here also you can have the lower one cover the middle, and this one total upper one, this is called going up. This is ascendingly imbricate situation. Next one is the quincuncial. In imbricate, quincuncial is the modification of imbricate situation in which two petals are completely inside, two petals are completely outside, and one has got one side inside outside. This you can find the guava. See, you can have, so one petal is inside, another petal is also inside. So two petals are inside and two petals are outside, and one petal one side inside. This is called quincuncial type of situation. The next we will have the first whorl, that is the calyx. This is the first whorl of the floral pots, consists of sepals, and they protect the flower in bud condition, and when the sepals are free, that is called polysepalous condition, you can have hibiscus, and gamosepalous, sepals united, example datura. And types of calyx based on the duration, based on the lifespan of the sepals, they are classified into 5 types. The first one, caducous or fugaceous, falling off the sepals before the flower opens. Before the flower opens, the sepals fall off. Example, magnolia. In deciduous, what happens? Falling of the sepals and petals as soon as the flower opens. After the flower opens. And then the third one is the persistent. They never fall. They never fall. Remains without weathering, or even after the fruit formation, they will be attached with the fruit. That you can find persistent tomato. And 2 more special types. Another is called marcescent. See, the persistent calyx shows little growth after fertilization, after fruit formation, attached with the fruit. Example, brinjal. And the last one is called acrescent. There grows inflated balloon-like structure along with the fruit development. See, the sepals grow as soon as and as equal to the development of the fruit and form a balloon-like structure. So the balloon encloses the fruit. So here you can have these things. In magnolia, this caducous condition, fall off before the flower opens, and then in the brinjal, you see, marcescent, the growth of this calyx, growth of the calyx along with the fruit. And the third one I told you already, tomato, this is persistent. The persistent sepals you can find. And here I told this one, in physalis what happened, this is the physalis flower. After the pollination fertilization, it develop into a fruit. The sepals also develop. Sepal also develop along with the fruit, and they join and form a bag-like structure. Inside the bag you can find the seed. Next, the corolla. So this is the second whorl of the floral pot, consists of petals. See, when the petal is free, polypetalous condition, petals united, gamopetalous condition, and the lower part of the petal is called the claw. So here you have to see the petal. When the petal is like this, the lower part of the petal is called the claw, and the upper part is called the limb. Upper part is called the limb, and the lower part is called the claw. The forms of corolla. Here also you can have polypetalous corolla and gamopetalous corolla. Here the petals are free and petals are united. Now let us see different forms of the corolla. In this polypetalous, regular corolla and irregular corolla. So that is, regular corolla means actinomorphic, irregular means zygomorphic corolla. In this regular corolla, there are 3 types. One is called the cruciform corolla, another is called carophyllaceous, and the third one is the rosaceous. So the first one, the cruciform, the flowers having the clawed petals at right angles, just like a cross. Just like a cross, the petals are all directions, and looking like a cross. This is called cruciferous corolla. Example, brassica. And the next one is caryophyllaceous. These are 5 petals are there. These are also the clawed petals. Would spread the ring at right angles. See, the limb is like this, the claw is like this. At right angles, this is called caryophyllaceous. And the rosaceous, what happened? No claw. No claw. The petals are just like a triangular and arranged. See this, you can see here. The first one, the cruciform corolla, spreading 4 directions, and just like a cross here. And in dianthus you can caryophyllaceous, these are spread at right angles, and here these are just triangular petals are arranged in rows. That is called rosaceous type, here caryophyllaceous type, and this is cruciform corolla. Polypetalous irregular corolla. Irregular corolla, one is the papillinaceous type. We can discuss in the descendingly imbricate situation. 5 petals, one large petal encloses the posterior and then the below the sternal petal. The second one is orchidaceous. So one petal in front of the stamen is different from the next petals. Example, dendrobium. So here you see the bean, this is a big a posterior standard petal. Below you can have 2 wing petals. Below this you can have a keel petal. And in dendrobium, opposite to the stamen, you can find some especially here also you can see this is a dark red color or maroon color, remaining are rose colors. So this is the difference you can find. This is what you called orchidaceous type. Orchidaceous, this is papilionaceous. Papilion means butterfly. So after seeing one side, you will just think it is a butterfly. So it is a papilionaceous corolla. The next one, gamopetalous corolla. That's a regular corolla. Gamopetalous, regular corolla. In this, one is a tubular, just like a tube that you can find in disc florets of Helianthus, sunflower, and campanulate, that is a short, very short bell-like structure. Corolla tube, inflated at the base and wide at the top. Third one, interpiliform, that is a funnel shaped, you can find datura. And rotate, small wheel-like structure, wheel-like flowers like solanum, and solver shaped or hypocrateriform. Corolla tube is long and limbs spread, just like vinca. And orceolate, just a cuse type, aran shaped or box shaped, tube long and narrow and inflated at the center, narrow at the base and tip. Bryophyllum. These 6 you can see one by one. The first type, tubular disc floret. Here in a flower you can find the central flowers are called tubular florets, and peripheral ray florets, that you will see later. And the central floret, as individual floret, if you see, this is a tube in shape, so tubular. And campanulate, this is small and a tube and spreading. And the actual tube-like structure you can find here in datura, and here a long tubular flower and spread at the end. This is infundibuliform datura. This is a campanulate, cucurbita, tubular, this ibis, this Helianthus or sunflower. And regarding the rotate, as I told you already, you can find the solanum. This is a rotate, a wheel-like flower, that is solanum. And solver shaped, they are not clear. Actually, there is a long tube here, long tube in solver shape, in vinca, rosea, etc. and spread here, the spread. This is called solver shaped. And another thing, you can have orceolate in bryophyllum, you can find this is the flower and it is a bent and broad and again narrow at the end. Orceolate, or you can find in bryophyllum. You can see the shapes: rotate, solanum, solver shaped, vinca, orceolate, bryophyllum. And then irregular corolla, you can have irregular corolla, gamopetalous, bilabiate, two-lipped, bilipped. So where this lip is formed, 2 petals one lip and 3 petals one lip. Corolla limb with 2 projecting limbs in ossimum. The second one, personate, that is closed. Bilabiate mouth closed by projecting the lips, antirrhinum. And the third one, ligulate. There is a straw-shaped corolla found in Helianthus, the ray florets of sunflower. You can see this. The first one, bilabiate corolla. There you can find the corolla is made up of 2 lobes and 1 and looking like 2 lips. You can find an ossimum, and personate is closed with the lips, antenum, and the ligulate floret, I told you already, the peripheral florets are ligulate florets. Peripheral florets. So this is ligule like perforate. This is a transverse section also given here. You can find this is the ligule. It is 3 petals here, 2 petals suppressed. Form a ligule or tongue like, that is called ligulate. Okay. So by this the corolla is over. Tomorrow we will discuss the andrecium and gynoecium. Thank you.